Joining us on the line, as we mentioned in the opening segment, is the president of EBenefits Solutions, Kismet Toksu. Kismet, welcome to the program.
Hi, good morning. Thank you very much. Are you able to hear me okay?
We are. We've got you loud and clear. How are you today?
I am very well, thank you. I'm really glad to be on this radio show.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you next week in Dallas. And, for our audience, as we start this segment with you, for our audience, give them a little bit of a background on EBenefits Solutions.
Sure, I would love to. So EBenefits Solutions really started as UPMC was looking for an administrative solution to manage their large and very complex population. At that time, they had more than 50,000 employees and 50 business locations. And after an extensive search, they weren't able to find a system that would meet those needs. So UPMC made significant investments in the technology and the expertise to build the solution in-house. That was overwhelmingly successful, and EBenefits Solutions was born as a corporation, as a company, in 2005. Today, EBenefits supports. Yes, please.
Yeah, I was just thinking, and you were about to say, who does EBenefits support and kind of your target market? What type of companies do you guys work with since you launched in 2005?
Yeah, well, since then, we have gained about 60 companies, and we have all sorts of market types, market segments. We focus a lot on hospital and health systems. As you could imagine, many of them were trying to figure out the answers to the same questions UPMC was. There's also a big focus on education. Schools and universities had been very similarly engaged with a lot of paper and manual work. Public entities, and then retail and manufacturing. So recently, the focus on the Ben admin solution was for the 1,000-plus market. As we talk more about ACA and private exchange, we drop down in market to the 100-plus.
Oh, do you really? Kismet, this is Doug Field, and I really appreciate you joining us today. Thanks for being on. Talk a little bit about the depth and of your core services. So what's the depth and breadth of the services that you provide?
Sure, Doug. Thank you. The core solution is a very highly configurable benefits admin system. So, as I mentioned before, to support really complex needs, you have to be highly configurable. There are also interfaces with all core medical and voluntary benefit carriers, HRIS and payroll systems. There is a great deal of self-service available, but also support. There's complete event processing, everything from life events, employment events, new hires, and so forth, standard reports, ad hoc reports. I guess I would say what's super important here is the ability to integrate with other services that we can offer on the platform, like COBRA administration and FSA, HRA, billing, consolidation, some of those items that are real tricky to manage and that HR professionals don't want to look to multiple providers to really solve for. We can also extend out to ACA and private exchange. And considering the radio show that I'm on, I have to talk about member experience. We're working so hard on our 2.0 member experience, and all of our new customers, whether they're on the core platform or whether they'll be on the private exchange, will be on this new member experience. It's very intuitive. It has different views that members can select based on their preferences. It takes you through a path so that you know where you are in communicating and in selecting. It provides support and help along the way as you're deciding plans or how do I move on to the next benefit or how do I compare plans. And it has a shopping cart. So people are getting really used to shopping carts now, and it has that technology behind it. I think what's going to be fun is that you'll be able to access your EBenefits solution fully branded for the customer on your iPad, your iPhone, your laptop, your watch, wherever you want to actually transact.
Kismet, is the goal around the member, consumer, employee experience to be eventually a 365-day, 24/7 benefit engagement portal for they to come to access, other services beyond just benefit plan choices that they've made?
It is. That very much is the plan. There are pieces in there right now that allow, of course, the 24/7 and the interactions of 24/7. We do also have a partner that is called Work Partners that provides some other capabilities like employee assistance programs, which brings in another dimension beyond the more typical benefits that you see.
Now, you talked about some of the employer sizes that you serve, the 1,000 plus, and then going down to 100. Is another channel for these solutions through the broker consultants out there in this marketplace?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. We are working with a number of different brokers and consultants. They're especially interested right now in ACA and also in private exchange. So we're working with them. That's really how we're dropping down in market size. EBenefits typically works directly with the larger customers, and we do partner with their consultants and brokers. But as we do more business with brokers and help them create their private exchanges, we'll drop down market.
Now, talk a little bit, because you've alluded to it twice here, is the ACA, tool that you have, and how employers, can utilize that, or how the broker can help their employers utilize that when they're looking at ACA components.
Sure. So there are several pieces that I'd love to share with you. One is an ACA Navigator. That Navigator helps estimate the cost of failing to offer coverage and estimates the cost of that Cadillac 40% excise tax. It also can help the broker or employer analyze some penalty scenarios. There's another set in there, which is the ACA PROCORI and TRP tools, and they are really looking at the comparable fee outcomes under the allowable calculation methods and helps the employer or broker choose the most favorable method for those annual government tax filings. And then lastly, and really important because this is very challenging and confusing for employers, is the Aca Compliant Module. And this really helps eligibility tracking for all employees, and it has monthly notifications. There's a really nice dashboard piece to it. There are monthly notifications both to employers and HR teams. There's establishment and management of the administrative and stability periods for all employees, including new hires, and then that last and very onerous reporting piece back to the IRS. I don't want to fail to mention that this is changing all the time, so it's really beneficial for us to really continue to look at, and we do, what the changing rules are, and so there are shifts and adjustments here as the rules change.
Now, Kismet, as you know, I was looking at your background before, having you on the program today, and I mean, you're one of the pioneers in the CDH space, and does that, does your background in the CDH space from Luminos and other, big players that you've, worked for in the past, does that really help you in the private exchange space, seeing the direction this whole private exchange market has moved?
That's a great question. I think it's a really, really helpful background. That whole movement toward healthcare consumerism that started around 2000 that I was fortunate enough to be part of, along with other members of the community that we're talking to now, really the focus on consumer and the fact that we're really moving more and more into consumer decision making. So the employer is providing the options, and those that are on a good exchange providing the right tools. But at the end of the day, it really is about helping the member make the right decision across a breadth of products for them. So I think it's a great background for it, and I think that the exchange that we are going to be launching later this year will be a reflection of a real combination of that consumerism background and the technology capabilities that EBenefits has at its hand.
Well, you just answered our last question, or not our last question, but you are going to move into the exchange business, so you'll have the benefit admin, enrollment, communication piece, and you'll also be able to provide the exchange platform. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. We're building that now. What we're doing really is extending the capabilities of EBenefits Solutions' core capabilities. So what's really beautiful about that is there is a incredibly robust transaction processing and reporting communication set of capabilities that now will be able to be used for defined benefit, defined contribution, a combination of those, ACA measurement if you want it. So it supports that full breadth, which is what I've heard in the market. Groups are looking for. They want one solution that can bring all of that together and not really have a player that does this that I have to manage and a player does that I have to manage, and then I as the HR professional would have to pull it all together.
No, I think that's actually correct, and that's what we see as well.
Well, Kismet, we really appreciate you joining us on the program today, and to our audience out there and all our listeners, if you go to our website, EBenefits Solutions is an IHC affiliate with us, so you can find more information about them on our website as well, theihcc.com. But Kismet, as we wrap up this program, leave our listeners with one or two takeaways on what they really need to be looking for when they're looking at benefit administration, member experience, and other things around this private exchange benefit administration space.
Okay, sure. I think that as you're looking for a solution, you'd be looking for administrative ease and the ability to serve your multiple populations on one platform. And, of course, everybody's focused on the consumer. We have to help them make really, really good decisions. And I think deeply understanding what the capabilities are to help a member, whether they're calling and they have access to an award-winning service center like we have, or whether they want to go online and ask questions of their HR department. All of that really helps to make a good decision for that person. So I guess my parting thought, that I do want to say thank you so much, and I appreciate being on this radio show and being part of the community. I really would love to meet you if you're going to be in Dallas next week. And I'll be milling around the booth and the luncheons and so forth, so I hope to see you there.
Yeah, we will definitely swing by, and we look forward to seeing you at the event. And thank you very much for your sponsorship at that event. We really do appreciate it. We can't do it without you guys, so we will definitely come by and say hello more than once, probably. So
fantastic.
All right, Kismet, thank you very much for joining us on the program, and you have a great weekend.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend yourself. Bye-bye.